Today we are going to explain a movie where a curse is following the witness of a suicidal person. The movie's name is Smiley, a horror movie that provides you with a few hours of terror. The picture begins in the bedroom of a recently overdosed woman. Her small daughter walks into her room and sees her mother's body lying in shambles. Eventually, she died. By showcasing some photo frames, it is understood that Rose has another sister. In the present, Rose Cotter, the daughter, is a therapist going about her day at work. She works with Carl, a manic patient. He is constantly muttering about people dying in his own death. Rose tries to console him, but Carl goes on with his episode. Her supervisor consults with her about this matter in his chamber. After leaving his chamber, Rose is then called for an appointment with a young woman named Laura Weaver. Laura is upset when Rose meets her since she recently witnessed her professor hammer himself to death. Since then, Laura claims to have been seeing an evil presence that takes the form of others. Rose tries to calm her down. After turning away from Rose and looking back, Laura begins panicking and freaking out. Rose calls for help, but she looks back to find that Laura has picked up a broken shard from a vase and is now flashing an unsettling grin. Laura slashes her throat before help arrives, leaving Rose in shock. Rose speaks to two detectives, one of whom is her ex-Joel, for details on the event. She explains what she saw and also talks to her boss, Dr. Morgan Desai. But they are totally clueless about this suicidal action. Later, Rose goes to her home that she shares with her fiancé Trevor and their cat Mustache. She noticed blood of Laura is spotted on her dresses and she's seeing a smiley face from a certain distance. When Trevor entered the room suddenly, she gets shocked and dropped the glass from her hand. She shares how the patient died in front of her and hears that Trevor hugs her to calm her down. Rose and Trevor go out to dinner with Rose's sister Holly and her husband Greg. But Rose is still disturbed by Laura's suicide and snaps at Holly when Holly chastises Rose for not remembering Holly's son Jackson's forthcoming birthday. Rose tries to return to work and move on. She receives a call from Holly, who apologizes for the quarrel and asks Rose to get Jackson a birthday gift. While they chat, Rose looks out the window and sees what appears to be Laura in the distance. When Rose comes by Carl's room, he is shown with a sinister smile, similar to Laura's, and proceeds to tell Rose again, "You're going to die." Carl is restrained by orderlies after she calls for assistance. When Rose goes to buy a gift for Jackson, she encounters Laura again, still smiling. She can't locate Mustache at home and is terrified when the security alarm goes off. She receives a call from the security business, but it is a malignant entity taunting Rose. The caller asks her to look back. And a while after the phone rang again and she realized she was hallucinating again. Rose cannot sleep at night beside her fiancé. She woke up and started to listen to the audio recording where she finds out a strange breathing sound. All of a sudden she was shocked by her old dead mother's soul. Rose now sees her own therapist, Dr. Madeline Northcott, who assisted her in overcoming the pain of her mother's suicide. Rose attends Jackson's birthday celebration over the weekend. When it comes time to hand out gifts, he chooses Rose's, which is supposed to be a toy train. Instead, Jackson opens the box to discover Mustache's body. Everyone freaks out, and Rose attempts to reassure everyone that she did not do this, but she notices that one of the other moms has the entity's nasty grin. But no one sees that thing and believes any sentence of Rose. Rose stumbles backward and falls through a glass table, bruising her arms severely. Rose is taken to the hospital for treatment. Morgan pays her a visit after learning about her episode and proposes her to take time off work. Rose tries to explain herself when Trevor brings her home, but he believes she is insane and that she truly did murder Mustache. Rose begins her investigation. She listens to audio from her session with Laura and hears what appears to be a faint breathing noise. She also searches for Laura's professor, Gabriel Munoz, and his widow Victoria. She informs Rose that Gabriel claimed to have seen visions of something haunting him just days after witnessing the suicide of another woman named Anna Powell. When Rose claims to be experiencing what Gabriel did, Victoria believes she is mocking her misfortune and tells Rose to leave. Despite Joel's initial reluctance, Rose seeks him for assistance in her inquiry. When he checks up on Anna Powell, he discovers that she died by gouging out her eyes. It is also stated that Anna witnessed a man commit suicide, which is captured on a security camera from a gas station, where the man is shown with a weird smile before impaling himself in front of Anna. When Rose returns home, she discovers that Trevor has phoned Madeline to schedule a house call because they are concerned about Rose's mental health. Rose explodes at Trevor, saying he is more worried about how she would make him look, prompting her to rush out and break up with him. Rose also pays a visit to Holly in an attempt to explain herself about the birthday, but Holly refuses to forgive Rose and accuses her of spiraling like their mother did. Rose responds by saying that Holly never tried to be there for their mother and that she had to care for her until the end. Rose returns to her car and sees Holly go back to her, but it is simply the monster haunting her. Rose goes crazy seeing the rotating head. Joel drives Rose to a prison, where she encounters the curse's single survivor, Robert Talley. He explains to Rose that the creature clings to people's trauma and expands to new victims. Because each of the victims watched a suicide and became the next victim, Robert killed someone in front of another witness to prevent the thing from murdering him. When Rose tells him that she cannot kill someone, Robert becomes terrified and believes Rose brought the thing with him, forcing him to be restrained. He was frightened and starts screaming. She left that place and shared nothing with Joel about this information. Rose returns home and attempts to speak with Madeline, who is at home on her own accord. This turns out to be the thing in disguise, as Madeline subsequently contacts her for real. Rose's time is approaching, says the entity. But the thing cannot kill her now since there is no witness present. Rose drives to work with a knife because she feels she has no other alternative. She enters the building and finds Carl's room, where she provokes him into screaming. Morgan rushes in and witnesses Rose viciously stabbing Carl. He yells and appears to be ripping his face off. But this is only a nightmare Rose had after collapsing in her car. When Morgan notices her, she drives away with the knife in her car. Rose phones Joel and informs him that she must isolate herself in order to prevent the thing from spreading to others. She pulls up to the house where her mother died as a child. When it's dark, Rose sees the thing as a tall, long-haired hideous version of her mother who is always smiling. Rose expresses her rage at her mother for how she acted as a result of her illness and for not getting the help she required. The spirit follows Rose and taunts her until she sets it on fire and flees the house as it burns. She then goes to Joel's place and claims to have finally gotten rid of it. Then Joel assures her she'll never be able to get rid of it, while flashing a frightening smile. Rose realizes she was dreaming once more. She is still in the house. When the thing discovers her, it rips its face off before straining Rose's jaw open and climbing into her mouth. Joel arrives and enters the house, only to discover Rose dousing herself with kerosene. She turns around, flashing her own evil smile, and sets herself on fire in front of Joel, who is horrified. Thus the movie ends and leaves the curse running through Joel. Since Joel witnessed the suicide, he will experience the same thing. If you enjoyed the explanation, it is of utmost request to subscribe to the channel and give a like. Your subscription is our inspiration. Hope to see you in the next videos. Thank you.